Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdridge or order online at hfcrave.com.
Baumgart's loyalty shopping event is happening today. Loyalty Rewards members can save $50 on their purchase of $200 or more. You heard that right. Spend $200 or more on any merchandise of your choosing in the store.
So no gift cards.
And you'll save $50 instantly.
The $200 spend is pre-tax and cannot be combined with other discounts or offers.
It's all happening today only. So sign up as a loyalty member and save. Only at your neighborhood Baumgart's.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
I'm Kirk Herbstreit, and today I'm eating Raising Cane's.
Herbstreit's in the drive-thru again. Oh, hey, Kirk. What can I get you today?
I want a solid bench of 4 chicken fingers that are real difference makers. Sprinkle-cut fries with dynamic ridge patterns, Texas toast, and cane sauce with an air of smugness that comes from knowing you're the best. Now back to you, Todd.
So the usual.
Make Raising Cane's part of your game day lineup. One love.
It's game on at Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Nebraska's premier power sports dealership. Score big with rebates up to $2,000 on the Kawasaki Nav, Kawasaki's first ever fully electric personal transportation vehicle designed for cruising the good life. Be the first to nav your neighborhood. Elway Power Sports of Lincoln has you covered all under one roof with a large selection of side-by-sides, ATVs, motorcycles, and personal watercraft at their 27th and I-80 location, where they can't wait to get you set up for football season.
Serve Nebraska believes that volunteers are part of what makes Nebraska great. Each year, the Step Forward Awards honors volunteers from across the state who serve their communities in outstanding ways. We hope you'll join us this year at the Step Forward Awards luncheon on October 27th in Omaha. Help us thank volunteers with a celebration to remember. To register, visit serve.nebraska.gov and click Register Now. We hope to see you there. Paid for by Serve Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Nebraska Volleyball just wrapped up another match. Join former Husker Mandy Monson as she breaks down the game from the hard swings and perfect sets to the diving digs and precision passing. 93.7 The Ticket's post-game coverage of Nebraska Volleyball starts now.
If you're tuning in via live stream, via YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it may be, you're probably recognizing that I am not Mandy Monson. She's on her way right now from the game, which is awesome. But other than that, what a dominating win from the Husker volleyball team tonight. It was, again, as we like to say here when Mandy is here, it was another game, another match of just pure domination. Sorry about that. And some key stats here. Let's just go through the scores by the set to start. First set, 25-15. And me, I'll be straight up with y'all out here. I'm not someone who is as knowledgeable in volleyball as I need to be overall. I know I live in Lincoln, Nebraska, and maybe that should be the case. Maybe I should start waking up to that a little bit more. Watch the entire match here. And everything that Mandy does say about this team, everything that you'll see in the media, everything you see the players say, it's completely true. And I know I'm probably the only one in the room who didn't know that before a little bit probably. But this is volleyball at its highest level, I fully believe. Yes, I'm a Longhorn fan. I will throw that out there every chance I get. But I just don't think there's a team in volleyball right now that I've seen, at least with my eyes, now or in the recent years that I've been a volleyball fan, that can do what Nebraska does. And it's not like they're going out there in a sense of, oh, we're just going to go 25-0 everybody. No, because like one of our sets ended today 25-18 at the end, I believe. And it's one of those things that kind of just, it's not really what they're doing, in my opinion. It's how they're doing it. And the way that Nebraska volleyball is doing this right now is at such a high level of domination. Things that aren't going right for them, they'll reset, they'll regroup, and it's like, oh, I couldn't have told you what the issue was 5 minutes ago. And that's something that I think, I say it a lot on here, separates the good teams from the bad teams. Now to get into some numbers here, Nebraska hit 345 overall while keeping Michigan State to 125. That's, I know from what I picked up from Mandy, obviously not a great number for Michigan State here. I'm a baseball player, so I kind of keep things around that type of batting average. And when I see numbers like this, I kind of get a little bit of a kind of recognition for what these numbers do mean. And as the game was going on, I was keeping some notes too, just to make sure I knew what I was talking about when Mandy does get here. And something that did stand out to me, I believe it was, Virginia Adriano started off the day perfect, 4 for 4 on kills and swing attempts as well. And again, this is someone that Mandy and I have talked about as someone who not needs to step up in a sense at all. But there's games where, she doesn't need to be the pure aggressor. But when you can get her started as hot as she was started today, it's something that the team follows. The match kind of just starts swaying in that momentum when it's just someone of her stature on the court can kind of take over, or at least let's get it out to her and we know what we're going to get from her. It's something that does carry this team in such a long way. And before I forget, to anybody tuning in, texting us on the Sartor Heyman Jewelers text line, 402-464-5685. Beforehand, I was prepping for this, and I got some questions from some of my great friends who are volleyball players at Nebraska Wesleyan University, just things like that. People I know in the volleyball community who I wanted to try to get some kind of questions from them, kind of get some things to talk about. Maybe y'all need to get to know me a little bit more. And so one of the questions that stood out to me just straight off was, whose performance impressed me the most tonight? And I know that Harper Murray is a great player. All these players on this list I can go on and on about, but I'm probably going to just focus on Lainey Choboy for the day. I had saw a recent interview where they kind of asked her how, like, with the whole libero movements, some sets you're in, sometimes you're not, like, what does that do for you? And her answer was perfect. It was, we're not here at Nebraska to kind of win that position. We're here to win championships. And as someone who doesn't tune into games as regularly as I need to, as someone who doesn't just sit around and watch volleyball like it's my thing, and it might be after today, that was something that I saw just come to life right in front of my own eyes. I saw how it was more than just, oh, I'm doing it for myself. She was making plays out there, getting digs, and it was things that this team is so selfless. And I know, I'm sure teams around the country like to say that, and they like to think, oh yeah, we're a selfless team. You're not as selfless as the Huskers in Lincoln, Nebraska. They'll pan the camera to the bench, and you just see people who haven't got in the game probably all day, maybe in a couple games, but that doesn't change anything about their demeanor. And in baseball and sports, I know, again, it's probably every sport. I play baseball, so I'll tie it into that real quick. I always get told you never want anybody in the stands to know what the score is based on your body language, based on the way you're moving. Just no one should know what the score is based on just your appearance. And of course, easier said than done when you're in Nebraska. Kind of just, I believe this was the 11th straight sweep on the season right now, which moves the total to 34 consecutive sets that they have won. And so obviously when things are going good, they're going great. But at some point, as an athlete myself, yes, the success is amazing, but there's always that part of your athlete brain saying, "Okay, I want to be on the court too." But you don't see that visibly with this team right now. A lot of what we're seeing right now from the Huskers is so much of just playing for the person next to them, playing for the person in front of them, and that's stuff that does way more, in my opinion, than just straight up stats. Yes, the stats are always going to speak for themselves. When you have players who are just putting on amazing hitting clinics, when you have 5 blocks from Andy Jackson today, it's something that just stands out on the skill set for sure. Mandy just walked in the room, so we might be getting her in here in a couple moments. So didn't have to stick with me too long, but that's all right. One of the final questions I did get asked today, though, who is my favorite player and why? Again, someone who does not tune into this side of sports as often as I need to be, but I have been lately. I'm a huge Harper Murray fan, and I'm sure 90% of the country is. Let's not lie here. But again, the way that she's just so silently aggressive, in my opinion, yes, everyone knows the name, everyone knows the face, everyone knows the skills. But when she's on the court, there is so much that just, even when the ball's not going to her, even when she's not part of the play, the movement she has, the way she's able to kind of just impact the game with just pure presence alone is what I've noticed from a lot of these Huskers, not just Harper. But I think she's someone that stands out as just also with her off the court story, just who she is as a person, who she is as an athlete. It's something that I'm gravitating towards. I'm a huge Harper Murray fan. This, again, pains me as a Longhorn fan to say. But that was my final question. And now, of course, what everyone's been waiting for. Let's get Mandy in here. So give me a quick second. Let's show the camera that, actually. Let's go. All right, guys. Mandy has joined. Let me get this camera set up. Let me get her on here. One second. We got more guests. I'm sorry. Yeah, that'll be better for the camera. So everybody at home can see what's going on over here. All right. Now you got the ticket gear on. We have another hat if you want a ticket hat as well. You don't want to be in it? Oh, okay. I'm so sorry. Then, yeah, you're the perfect spot. We are.
So, okay, how's it been going?
It's been going good. I was just trying to just ease it in here. I wasn't trying to get into too much. Didn't want to steal your thunder today. So I was just talking about what I saw from the game, just some of the things that stood out. Yeah, so what was something that I was paying attention to, at least early on, because that's the announcers were telling me to keep an eye on it, was Virginia Adriano. She started off perfect with her kills. Yeah. And so she was like, that's something that, again, I told you, I don't watch volleyball as much as I need to.
Right.
But like seeing that, it was awesome because it's like she just she had a role up there where it was just more of like everything that's getting sent her way is getting played so perfectly. And again, I don't know how often that happens in volleyball, but just to see it kind of at the start of the game, they said it like, this is a key player. You need to get started early. And if not, there's no worries. But to have her on from the start was awesome. Yeah. And so I saw how that affected the rest of the game. So that stood out to me early on, at least.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she like, and that's a good observation. So she played well tonight. She hit over 600. She hit 667. And she definitely had like a better match tonight than she's had. You guys, my glasses are messed up. Than she's had, I would say, in the last 3 matches. She's been kind of quieter the last 3 matches. Yeah. So I think it was great to see her, kind of pick up her game. I mean, she's just, you guys, she's a phenomenal player. And, she's a freshman. So she's just going to continue to get better. And yeah, I totally agree with you in the announcers. It was fun to see her have more execution and more termination tonight, on the floor for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I obviously with volleyball, obviously like the skill is the most important thing as every sport, but something I've noticed with Nebraska, at least, and when you're playing against Nebraska, as I saw from Michigan State's side today, Michigan State's not a bad volleyball team by any means. I thought they were really talented for sure, but
I agree.
I think something that kind of gets overlooked, at least in volleyball, maybe, or maybe just doesn't get thought about from my perspective, is how much the momentum plays a factor in volleyball. Because like I play baseball, momentum's a big deal, but not super big. So in volleyball, I'm seeing like they're getting good shots off, but when you're in the in the moment in the Vanny Center, it's something that kind of just swallows you as a whole if you're not a Husker. And so I want to kind of get your opinion on, like, maybe just being an opponent at some other score, just in general. How does momentum kind of sway a team like that?
I mean, when opponents come into Devaney, they are playing the Huskers, but they're also playing and having to get settled in an arena that they're not used to. Now, when we played at Michigan State, they set a record for attendance. So, but they're not playing in front of that every night where we are, right? So we're used to the noise. We're used to all the entertainment factors that happen in Devaney. Like when Garth Brooks is, blaring on the sound system and the whole crowd is singing Friends in Low Places, like we're used to it. So, yeah, I think that is a factor for sure for opponents. And tonight too, Michigan State had, they had some injuries. So like their right side wasn't playing tonight. I also think their left side, their main left side attacker, she had a knee brace on, and I don't know, it didn't seem like she was as dynamic. I think they had a libero or a defensive specialist that was also, injured. So they were also a little bit, they weren't at 100%. But going back to your question, yes, the environment makes a difference on the opponent. And for us, we're just used to it. So playing in front of that big of a crowd, playing in front of a crowd that has emotion, we don't, our team doesn't get sucked into it. Now, our team can get a lift from the fans for sure. And I think that's an important part of our success as when we play at home. Like that's a huge benefit to us and a huge advantage for sure.
Yeah. Yes. And then going back to what you said, like how we have taken the travel over there. I had a question from one of my better friends who does tune into the show. She also coaches around the area. I
love it.
Coaches Nebraska Junior. So she knows some volleyball. And so she had a question for you.
Yes.
She said, how do you think the Huskers did playing Michigan State for a second time this season? And were there any changes from the first match that you kind of saw, like that they kind of went back, took a note of, and then made that adjustment for this match?
I don't know that I necessarily saw anything that, they made an adjustment based on their Michigan State match.
Okay.
What I noticed tonight in regard to, I think tonight was a great opportunity for us to play some different people. Taylor Landfair tweaked her right ankle last night. It doesn't seem like it's a major, like she was on the sidelines. She wasn't wearing a boot. She was totally suited up. So I think if we would have needed her, I'm sure she would have played. But Terea Sigler started. She had a good match, which she had 9 kills off of 19 total attacks, 3 errors. She hit 316. But what I noticed tonight, and because Michigan State, so I'm going to finish my thought first, because Michigan State, I think, was not at 100% because they, they just, they also just got beat by Iowa last night. Like that wasn't supposed to happen. So they're having a rough road trip this weekend. So we also got to play some other players. Ali Czech played, Manayo Beche played, Skylar Pierce, who has been injured. She's been in a boot. She played. But I think what was apparent for me tonight is that with the ability to kind of play Michigan State, play some other players, I do think once Taylor Landfair is fully healthy, I feel like we've kind of shaken out like really who the starters are and the consistent players are. And not that everyone on our team is fantastic. So I want to make sure that's clear. I think there's just so much talent, but I do think tonight kind of was a opportunity for us to see kind of really who those starters are. And I think it really is that group where Taylor Landfair is playing in the front row for 3 rotations. Terea Sigler is playing in the back row for 3 rotations. Andy and Becca are the middles, and Virginia's playing on the right side. And I think everybody, the people that are coming off the bench are all amazing bench players. And if someone doesn't have a great game, then we have a very deep bench. And that's what allows us to, no matter if we have an injury or if someone's having a not so great match, then we can fill the gaps that way. That's what was apparent to me tonight. And I think that's good. And why I think that's good is because now when you go into matches to play Wisconsin, you're not really going like, oh, okay, who do I want to play this match?
Yeah.
Like you know what your system's going to be, and then you can train your players based on that system. Now, do I think they're not going to compete in practice and the coaches aren't going to continuously look at who is performing well in practice and who deserves that start? That is still going to occur. But that was my biggest takeaway from tonight.
Yeah,
Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. I was going to say, I know we've talked about that in recent, just how deep this roster can go. And I think that is, that's very evident too. Cause they were talking about that as I was watching too, just some of these people who were like they said, weren't playing too much, injuries happen, people get in there. And then it's like, they don't skip a beat at all. It's like, you could, I think we've said this, you could put some of these people on any other team in the country and they're starting tomorrow. But a lot of these athletes that we have here on this volleyball team kind of just plug and play in a way that you don't really see around the country, it seems.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. What I'm saying though is you had some different players on the floor, and I do think there's like, I'm not saying it was a lower level of play. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying when it comes to like, okay, for me, if I'm coaching the next match, I know the lineup that I would play is if everybody's healthy.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is just a Rudy question here. For set 3, was that more of the players that kind of weren't getting as much, like kind of the newer rotations in set 3?
Yeah.
Because that was the set where they kind of kept it a little closer, right?
Yeah. So correct. So Manayo Beche started as the middle opposite of Andy. Ali Czech started at right side. So Virginia Adriano did not play in the third. And then Skylar Pierce was playing the 3 front row rotations, and Therese Sigler was playing the 3 back row rotations for that, basically that H2 or that, left side, 2 position.
Gotcha.
I do want to say, I thought Harper played really well tonight. She had an attack from the left side that was like, good Lord. I mean, she did some great things. Therese Sigler, she is a great back row player. She's very good in the front row as well, but I think maybe she didn't quite have as great of a night in the front row as she did last night against Northwestern. Again, she still did phenomenal, but she is just such a strong attacker, beyond the 10-foot line. And then Becca Alec played very well tonight. I mean, she has go-go gadget arms where she just defends the net. And I love it when teams think they're just going to pop the ball over, and she literally extends her arm and returns it. So, I mean, we did some really great things tonight, but it wasn't, it wasn't the cleanest we've played. We had some serving errors. How many serving errors did we have?
7.
Yeah.
7.
So I think, going into next weekend's matches, that's probably an area that we're going to want to clean up.
Okay.
I think when we continue to now, again, I could be wrong, but, I think if we have a healthy lineup with the people that basically for the last, 3 matches prior to Taylor tweaking her ankle last night, I think, right, we'll work on more, kind of getting that system, continuing to improve on it, in communication. I think that's the other thing too. When you have those other players that come in, it's the third set, and sometimes that's where communication breaks down, or they're just, not as familiar. So I think that plays a part of it too.
Nice. And this is a stat we kind of touched on yesterday a little bit, and we'll touch on it right here before we end this first segment. For the side out percentage for today, again, this is something I'm trying to get into knowing a little more specifically with that stat. What can you tell me about 76%? I know yesterday we were close to 70, and that was awesome.
Yeah.
And so 76 today, what does that speak volumes to?
Well, I think it speaks volumes to our ability to pass in system when we are on serve receive. So if we are being efficient at 76% when they are serving the ball to us and we are siding out, that's pretty impressive. Mm-hmm. And where you see that is we had 53 kills total. They had 27.
Yeah.
So that's when, because we're so efficient at side out, we're basically, right, we're getting a kill, we're getting the point. And they sided out at 49% on their serve receives. right, only had 27 kills.
Yeah, that's something too. Like, as I was watching it, I was like, okay, like we talked about this yesterday. Let me try to keep a closer eye on it. And it's something that, like, as someone who doesn't tune into volleyball as much as I need to, and I'll say that probably 20 more times today, it's stuff like that where it's like, it's more than just, oh, they're hitting the ball back and forth. And I feel like that's the way with a lot of other sports too. But I think being able to break it down, being able to see it through a lens like yours, is definitely something that's helping. And if there's people like that out there right now tuning in, tune into our next segment where we'll probably get into a lot more volleyball for sure. A lot more things to break down here with Mandy Monson. And we'll be right back with the Husker Volleyball postgame show here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, Sean Callahan here, and I've got some great news for you. Copple Chevrolet GMC is proud to be the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln metros. Copple is also celebrating its 50th anniversary. We want to say thank you to all of our customers that have helped us reach these milestones. So come see why so many customers, including myself, are choosing Copple Chevrolet GMC for their automotive needs. Please check us out at copplecars.com.
Hello, Husker fans. Stop into Zollner Ford Beatrice for all your automotive needs. Whether new or used, car, truck, crossover, SUV, or EV, we've got them. Shop our ever-changing specials at ZollnerofBeatrice.com or give us a call today and go Big Red. We are Zollner Ford Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right, most recommended Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Bonsall Pool and Spa's annual Spooktacular sale is here. Now through November 1st, get an extra $1,000 off hot tubs at an already low sale price and get $500 off the already low sale prices on infrared and traditional saunas. All hot tub water care products and accessories are also for sale for the Spooktacular sale, now through November 1st at Bonsall Pool and Spa at 33rd and Highway 2. Call for more info at 402-488-0148 or visit bonsallpool.com.
Do you want boots that actually feel good on your feet? Meindl delivers premium German-engineered comfort, brought to you right here from Nebraska. Built tough for trails, fields, and everyday wear, and backed by Meindl's Comfort Promise, so you can try them on with confidence. Use promo code THETICKET at MeindlUSA.com, spelled MEINDL, for free shipping. That's MeindlUSA.com. Meindl, comfort you have to feel to believe.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting LincolnTeammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
This is your year, where your team takes it all the way. Win way more than bragging rights at Warhorse Casino, where your love of the game could put $1 million in your pocket. The Pro Football Frenzy is free to play with prizes all season long. Weekly cash prizes up to $1,000 cash, season-long leaderboards, and a chance to win $1 million. Only at Warhorse Casino. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Looking for someone to clean out your gutters or aerate your yard this fall? Call Isaac at Woida Outdoor Solutions today at 402-607-9154. Get your gutters cleaned today with a phone call to Woida Outdoor Solutions at 402-607-9154.
Back to Nebraska Volleyball postgame on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, former Nebraska outside hitter, Mandy Monson.
All right. Welcome back to the Nebraska Volleyball game post-game show. We got to stop saying game after that, but I'll figure it out. As we were talking about during the break, there's a lot of good things for us to take away. Kind of some things, like you said, are just impressive overall outright. I know we talked about some attacking numbers, some kill numbers, some block numbers. What is standing out the most to you right now? Maybe on like how they're able to play both sides of the game at a very elite level right now.
Yeah, so we had a total team blocks of 11. I mean, they had, total team blocks of 9. But what I'll say is like that first set, I mean, we really came out strong and kind of like we talked about last night. I mean, really kind of suffocating the opposing team's momentum. And I think that definitely happened tonight. And, it just, it's difficult, mentally. I mean, it's not only is it difficult physically to play against us, mentally that can really have an effect. Now, I mean, they hung in there. They had a middle, I thought, that played, pretty well. And she was productive on blocking. But again, I just, we just overpowered them. I thought it was interesting because I didn't necessarily, we progressed by improving on our attack percentage through the match. I don't know if I would have had these stats in front of me, I would have said, oh yeah, that happened. I mean, just sometimes too, it's kind of like you just, in every set, right? Even if different people are playing, I think if you're able to improve your offensive production and your attack percentage, right? I mean, that's a sign of a team that's, consistently getting. So not only do they come out strong from a defensive standpoint, blocking, then they're getting better as you get through the match from an offensive standpoint. And like we talked about right now, right, they're the number one team in the country. They have the highest attack percentage in the country. And they are, second defensively in the country. So, I mean, we're doing well. Although again, just overall, I mean, for this match, like I said, it wasn't quite just as clean as I think we've played.
Yeah.
So I do think there's going to be some things that the team and the coaches will be able to go back and take a look at on film, and they'll definitely have some things to work on for Wisconsin. The other thing too is like, I did talk about we need to improve serving, I think, from an air level, but we did. I mean, I think there were maybe 5 or 6 overpasses from Michigan State tonight. Maybe I'm a little aggressive on 6, but I think 5. I mean, Rebecca Alec, I think, returned for a kill at least 3 of them. So, I mean, it's not like we were serving aggressively because they couldn't handle it on, the serve receive. So, I mean, we did some things. Well, I just think it's like, again, going back to what that consistent lineup is again, cleaning up communication so that when we come out and play Wisconsin on Halloween night, we're, ready to go. And physically having all the players, right, physically, where they need to be. And I think they will be. I mean, I don't have details on Taylor Landfair, but, she, like I said, I think she'll probably be okay by Halloween.
Yeah, I believe John Cook also came out and said a little bit on hers that like the trainers didn't spend too much time with her and she didn't even get ice for it. So he said that's a great sign.
Well,
so
yeah.
I'm sure they're kind of just playing it safe for now, for sure. Like,
which they should.
Yeah, with the huge matchup coming up this week.
There's no need to play her tonight.
Yeah.
So just, absolutely. Nice. I'm with you.
Yeah. And so I had seen a clip on Instagram yesterday from Lainey Choboy, and she was talking about like the whole libero room, kind of in a sense of how they're kind of always like just getting moved around, which is not a bad thing at all. And she spoke on how they're not here to win the position. They're here to win a championship.
Correct.
And so, like, when you hear a mindset like that, especially at a position as talented as the libero position is right now, like, what does that say for the team? What does that say for her? And, like, what could be next as far as this team's success?
Yes, and I saw that too. And I think that is the demonstration of what this team is. I think that's why you can have two great players like Lainey and Olivia, competing for that position, but it doesn't affect the team chemistry. I think that's what makes this team very special is you have a lot of great athletes. You have a lot of competition going on at every position, but you don't have that competition affecting the team chemistry and everybody's collective ability to go for the target, which is winning a national championship. And that's what she said, and so I think they're totally showing that. I thought it was, I saw a clip also of Kayla Banworth, who's a libero alumni. And she's like, I just don't even like the question of like, well, who should it be?
Yeah.
Because it's, they're practicing every day. And again, that assessment's made. And I mean, both Olivia and Lainey are very strong players. So, I think the players trust each other and the players trust the coaches to make the right decisions for the team when it comes to starting lineups. And that is not always the case, on a team, on any team, if you've played sports. And it's kind of hard to, once you lose the trust of the players of who should actually be on the court, that's tough to rein back in. And that's when then you have, a lot of dysfunction on a team from their ability then to go out and play collectively to, meet the achievement of winning the match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I spoke on how selfless this team just looks from like an outsider perspective. But as far as like, this is a team that is, in my opinion, just miles ahead of what kind of could be the next best team in the league in Texas.
Yeah.
But I just focus on football, baseball, kind of. Those are the sports that have my full entire attention. I love volleyball now, but how much does them having fun play a factor? I think there was like there was a challenge where like they were reviewing a play and like they were just on the court just dancing, which is awesome to see. But it's like, like how much does that factor into like this undefeated run they're on right now, you think?
Well, I think they enjoy it when they're together and they're playing, and you see that from the players that are on the court and the players that are on the sideline. Because when I was a freshman, I started 2 matches. That was it. It gets tiring standing at the end of the court on the, on the sideline. Your legs are still tired at the end of the match because you've been standing for now. Although I don't know how tiring the players get during these matches. I'm being a little facetious, right? The match was done in an hour and 27 minutes. So it did go 5 minutes longer than last night. But yes, I mean, they have fun together. They support each other. They're locked in when they need to be locked in, but they're also able to have some fun. And, I think it's also they have a little bit of entertainment to them, but not too much entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice. So one of my final questions before we get to our next break here. Again, like let's say you're not a Husker fan. Let's say might be the coach of Texas. What is something that you do see in this Nebraska team that you're like, okay, like if we do match up with them, if we need to try to take a win from them, like are there any kind of flaws or holes in their game right now that kind of stand out to you at all? Obviously, it's hard to say yes when they're on the streak they're on right now, but what are some things that if you're an opposing team, you're kind of looking for in terms of like keys to success against this team right now, if there are any? And if they're not, I would not be surprised. I can't lie.
No, I mean, there's always some, a tactic that a lot of teams use to try and just keep a team out of system is to basically make, especially when the setter's in the back row, to try and make her play the ball as much as possible.
Okay.
That doesn't quite work as well against us because Bergen is such a strong defender. And so, but, anytime that you can basically just really activate the setter and just make her do a lot of work, that gets tiring from a physical standpoint. I think if I was probably a team, if I was doing shots, I don't want to give anything away, but I would, I would probably make Virginia hustle a little bit. It's like you want to find like, okay, where are players that we think we could put pressure on and have a higher percentage chance of breaking their ability to basically play efficiently and consistently in the game. And again, a tactic that, teams will use is to really put pressure on the younger players. So you'll probably see maybe teams focus on, right, if they're going to do shots, they're going to make that right side play the ball. Maybe they'll put a little bit more pressure on Terea Sigler when she's back there. But I mean, she passed great tonight again. So I agree with you. It's kind of tough to find that, but I think those are just tactics that, great teams use all the time.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Maybe I could pass those along to Texas. Who knows? But
don't do that.
Anyway,
I don't even know why you would say that.
Anyways, we will be getting to our last and final break here on the Nebraska Volleyball postgame show. I'm Rudy Gress with Mandy Monson over here alongside, and we'll be right back after this final break that we are about to go on. Thank you all for tuning in, and be right back after this.
Why are some people more successful? Is it talent and determination, or did they recognize an opportunity? Discover a career that lets you help families reach their financial goals as you build lasting professional relationships, one with unlimited income potential. From Modern Woodman, a leading fraternal financial services provider.
I'm Modern Woodman Regional Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Moe's Moving is now Moe's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
The temperature and leaves are falling daily, so that means it's time for a new pair of shoes for the fall season from Brown's Shoe Fit. Now through October 31st, take $15 off any regularly priced fall shoes and boots. Brands like Keen, Oboz, Echo, Taos, and Atrex all $15 off. Some exclusions may apply. See store for details. This is the sale you've all been waiting for, so get down to Brown's Shoe Fit on 66th and Q. Hungry for something real? Come to HF Crave, Lincoln's favorite spot for burgers that are anything but basic. Locally sourced Nebraska beef, hand-cut fries, and bold flavors that'll make your taste buds cheer. Whether you're craving the classics or ready to try something wild, they've got the burger that gets you. HF Crave. Fresh, local, craveable. Find them at 48th and Holdridge or order online at hfcrave.com.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel building systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Gaina Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Gaina Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at gainatrucking.com.
Back to Nebraska Volleyball postgame on 93.7 The Ticket. Here is your host, former Nebraska outside hitter, Mandy Monson.
All right, we are back for our last and final segment here on the Nebraska Volleyball postgame show. And during the break, we were kind of just talking about how we wanted to end up and wrap up the show here. And what better way than just start giving flowers to people just all over, honestly.
Yeah.
So who's at the top of your list? Who do you want to get our shout outs to while we end the show here today?
Well, I love it. So the first shout out that I want to give is, you guys had Audrey Eckert in here probably like 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think it was. So she was the delegate for Miss Nebraska USA. You guys may not know this, but she literally just won the Miss USA pageant last night. And I am going to give a special shout out because actually her family and my family, we used to be neighbors. So she was like my kids' babysitter. And I will tell you, she is just an amazing young woman. She talk about a person who repetition and is a professional she's been doing pageants since she was a little girl. And I think she's just such a great representative of Nebraska. She's, from Nebraska. I love her mom and dad. And she's just so well deserving of this because, she truly is a person that, she spent a lot of time and effort to achieve being Miss USA, which is no joke, you guys. That's one of the most, I think it's the most elite pageant, in the country. And then she's going to go compete in Miss Universe. So my first bouquet of flowers, gold star, goes to Audrey Eckert. Audrey, congratulations. I'm super proud of you and so excited for you. Let's see, next gold star and bouquet of flowers. This goes to Bergen Riley. Bergen, you had another excellent match. And here's what I really enjoyed about watching her tonight. So she was the setter on the court the entire night. And she was 4 kills out of 4 attacks. So she was really strong when we were, setting her very well in system close to the net. She was able to, get a kill. But I think the other thing that she really demonstrated tonight is that no matter who was out there on the floor, in regard to the attackers, I think she just did a really nice job of, leading the offense and distributing the ball. And so I think for the volleyball team, I am going to give Bergen the gold star and the bouquet of flowers. Now the third, and you're going to have to remind me her name, but we had a Husker athlete on the rifle team that shot a perfect score today.
Yes, that is Emma Road. Emma Road.
Great job, Emma. The first time, I think, in Husker history and the first time in Big Ten history.
Yep.
So amazing. And then, my fourth gold star, bouquet of flowers, whatever, goes to the Husker football team. We got to win today. So I think what's really exciting and to, wrap up the show is I think what is really fun right now to be a Nebraskan, to be an alumni of the volleyball team and of the University of Nebraska and Husker athletics is, we're just doing such a great job. Oh, and by the way, Audrey Eckert was a cheerleader, at Nebraska. Okay. So I just think we're in this time period right now for the university, for the athletic department, for our state where, lots of things are really exciting and really moving in a positive, way for us and momentum. And I'm really excited to, carry what, volleyball has been doing forward to next weekend. I am going to have a guest next weekend, which is very
Nice.
exciting. I'm not going to tell you who it is
All right.
yet, but the Hall of Fame ceremony for Husker Athletics is next weekend. And there are some volleyball players that are going to get inducted. And so, next weekend will be a great weekend for Husker Athletics and for Nebraska Volleyball with that, that ceremony going on. We play Wisconsin in a Halloween match at the Kohl Center. Then we're going to come back to Devaney and play Oregon on Sunday. Both are going to be competitive matches. And, I just highly recommend, if you have season tickets, if you can get a ticket, you are going to want to be in the Devaney on Sunday. And, make sure you get your trick-or-treating done in time so that when we play Wisconsin, we have all the strength and power and support of Husker Nation, behind the ladies, because, that will definitely be a match on, Friday night when we go play Wisconsin.
And one of our last final flowers to give out here too. We have 164 flowers to give out. That is how many people are tuning in across all of our platforms right now. We even got two. We got
people celebrating
we got fans
out here
outside. This is awesome.
I love it.
But yes, this was another dominating, even though there were some points where we kind of thought maybe, okay, they step it up a little bit. But again, a great win nonetheless, a great night here, a great day to be a Husker fan, a Husker athlete, all the above. And so this is Rudy Gress, Mandy Monson signing off for your Nebraska Volleyball postgame show. Thank you for tuning in here on 93.7 The Ticket.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast